In a world that worships luxury cars, designer clothes, and flashy Instagram lives, there was one man who had none of it. A janitor with worn hands and a tired back. Every day, unnoticed. Every night, forgotten. But behind that broom, he was quietly building something unbelievable. A fortune worth millions. This is the untold story of Ronald Read. Ronald James Read was born on October 23, 1921, in a small town called Dummerston, Vermont. Life was simple, but it was tough. His family was poor. Not can't afford a new car, poor. Can't afford shoes, poor. Ronald walked over 4 miles each day just to get to high school. No buses, no cars, just determination. Mother: Ronnie, we don't have much, but we have each other. Promise me, you'll work hard. Young Ronald: I promise, Ma. As a teenager, Ronald didn't have the luxury of dreaming big. Every penny mattered. After school, he'd chop firewood, do farm work, and take any job he could to support his family. Ronald wasn't just building muscles. He was building resilience. Brick by brick, he was preparing for a life of self-reliance that few around him would ever understand. Ronald fixing broken farm equipment. In the early 1940s, America entered World War II. Like many young men, Ronald answered the call. He served bravely in North Africa and Italy. He returned not as a celebrated hero, but as a man shaped by sacrifice, discipline, and the quiet strength of survival. After the war, Ronald settled into a quiet life. He became a gas station attendant. Later, a janitor at J.C. Penney. People barely noticed him. Customers walked past. Young workers laughed behind his back. But Ronald never flinched. Every morning he showed up. Every night he left a little richer than before. Colleague: Ron, why do you read that boring stock page every day? Ronald, smiling: because it's the only page that can change my future. Ronald lived by a simple philosophy. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference. And wait. He bought shares in companies he believed would last forever. Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, J.P. Morgan, CVS. Ronald never chased trends, never panicked during crashes. He invested slowly, patiently, year after year, decade after decade. Even when he had over $1 million, Ronald drove a second-hand Toyota. He lived in the same modest house for decades. His favorite hangout? A local diner where he'd order a $2 coffee and read the stock pages for hours. Dialogues, reenactment. Waitress: Ron, you sure you don't want something to eat? Ronald, laughing: maybe tomorrow. Saving for my future, you know. In 2014, Ronald Read passed away peacefully at the age of 92. Most thought he would leave behind nothing but an old toolbox and a few books. They were wrong. Very wrong. Ronald had amassed a fortune of over $8 million, and in his will, he left massive donations to his local hospital and library, institutions that had never seen a check that size before. Ronald didn't just build wealth, he built hope, opportunities, a legacy that will touch lives for generations to come. His story is a reminder. Wealth isn't about showing off. It's about showing up, day after day, quietly, relentlessly, until the world can't ignore you anymore. Ronald Read proved that you don't need $1 million salary to build $1 million life. You just need patience, discipline, and the courage to live differently than everyone else. Today, you have a choice. Waste your time chasing quick riches, or start building quietly, just like Ronald did. The journey won't be easy, it won't be glamorous, but someday it will be worth it. Start today. Your future self will thank you.